Did you know it's illegal to send someone a surprise pizza in Louisiana? Or that in Minnesota, it's against the law to cross state lines with a duck on your head? These aren't jokes. They're actual laws that are still technically enforceable in the United States. And they're just the beginning. Welcome to USA Revealed, where we bring you the strangest American outdated rules that still carry legal weight. These aren't urban legends. They're real laws that could still get you fined or arrested. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our crazy countdowns. Now buckle up, because the top 10 weirdest American laws still in effect starts right now. Number 10. No ice cream on Sundays? Yes, you heard that right. In Oregon, eating ice cream on Sundays is technically against the law. Somewhere, a sad scoop of Rocky Road is quietly melting in protest. This frosty restriction is a leftover blue law, part of a bygone era when lawmakers try to regulate morality, right down to your dessert. Imagine explaining to a police officer that your triple scoop cone wasn't an act of rebellion, just a cheat day. These kinds of laws once banned everything from buying booze to operating businesses on Sundays. And believe it or not, more than a dozen states still cling to blue law remnants. All this legal clutter adds to the whopping $2 trillion the U.S. spends each year just to comply with laws, many of which nobody even remembers writing. So while you're unlikely to be cuffed over a cone, technically, that Sunday is a legal landmine. America, home of the free, unless it's mint chocolate chip on a Sunday. Number 9. Chickens must cross with permit. Why did the chicken cross the road? In Gainesville, Georgia, it better be because it had a permit. So, here, allowing your chicken to cross the street without proper paperwork is technically against the law. This cluck-worthy regulation isn't just a punchline. It's a real municipal ordinance, originally meant to prevent livestock from wandering freely into traffic. It's somehow evolved into one of the most oddly specific animal laws in America. So if your poultry's planning a great escape, you'd better head to City Hall first. And just imagine a traffic stop. License, registration, and chicken permit, please. As silly as it sounds, laws like this still clog legal codes across the country. Laws nobody updates because, well, who's got time to repeal 1920s chicken control laws? In Gainesville, even chickens aren't above the law, though. Number 8. No singing in the bathtub. Scrub-a-dub don't. In Pennsylvania, it's technically illegal to sing in the bathtub. So, if you've ever belted out Beyoncé while rinsing your hair, you, my friend, are a bathtub outlaw. This law still exists, even if it sounds like something made up by a neighbor who just really hates noise after 9. While rarely enforced and probably ignored by every bar of soap in the state, it's a relic of an era where lawmakers try to micromanage everything, including your private plumbing solos. The bigger issue? The U.S. is drowning in bizarre rules like this. With over 90,000 local governments, these outdated statutes pile up like dirty laundry. Outdated laws like this might seem laughable, but they highlight a serious issue in the U.S. legal system. So next time you're in the tub hitting those high notes, remember, somewhere in Pennsylvania, there's a law waiting quietly to shut down your shower karaoke. But hey, at least your loofah's not judging. Number 7. No birthday cards with glitter. In parts of Pennsylvania, bringing a glittery birthday card to school or the office is basically committing a sparkly felony. Thanks to local ordinances, glitter, the craft world's most persistent villain, is banned in certain schools and offices due to excessive cleanup costs. That's right. Someone somewhere got fed up enough with chasing rogue sparkles for weeks that they turned it into an actual rule. You won't go to jail for it yet, but break the glitter rule and you could get fined. Imagine explaining that one. Yeah, I'm here to pay a $25 fine for celebrating Janet's birthday too festively. Even worse, glitter is like the confetti version of herpes. Once it's there, it's never truly gone. So if you're in Pennsylvania and planning a party, keep it clean. No sparkle, no shine, no tiny unicorn shedding fairy dust. Just a plain card and a heartfelt happy birthday, minus the shimmering chaos. Because in these towns, glitter doesn't just make a mess, it makes enemies. Number 6. You can't honk after 9 p.m. here. All right, in the city that never sleeps, your car horn has a bedtime. In New York City, honking your horn after 9 p.m., unless it's a true emergency, is technically illegal. And no, being stuck behind a double-parked Uber does not count as a crisis. This little-known regulation was introduced to help curb the city's growing noise pollution problem, especially in residential areas. New York is one of the loudest cities in the United States, and noise complaints are consistently among the top 5 most reported issues to the city's 311 service line. According to studies, chronic exposure to loud environments can lead to increased stress, sleep disorders, and cardiovascular issues, resulting in higher public health care costs and reduced worker productivity. In a city with over 8.3 million residents, even minor disturbances can add up quickly. While the law may sound absurd, it's rooted in serious public health and economic concerns. So next time you're tempted to blast your horn after dark, maybe take a deep breath instead. In New York, silence isn't golden. It's just heavily regulated. Number 5. No pickle without a bounce. Connecticut's crunchy criteria. In Connecticut, a pickle isn't legally a pickle unless it can bounce. According to a regulation that dates back to the 1940s, a pickle isn't a real pickle unless it passes the bounce test. Imagine a poor intern at the state fair. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to bounce that gherkin. This odd-sounding law came about when 2 men were caught selling substandard pickles. Health inspectors declared the pickles unfit for consumption and introduced a simple test. Drop it. If it doesn't bounce, it doesn't meet the state's definition of a proper pickle. While the law was originally about food safety, today it's an example of how hyper-specific regulations, even when well-intentioned, can become absurd over time. So here's to a future where we rethink ancient rules and maybe keep the bouncing to basketballs, not vegetables. Until then, drop that pickle and hope it springs like a champ. Number 4. No sharing Netflix passwords. In Tennessee, sharing your Netflix password is officially a no-no. Yep, 100%. Handing your Netflix login to a friend or cousin is now a crime. This law aims to curb unauthorized access to subscription-based services, making it illegal to share your account with anyone outside your immediate household. It's like a digital version of sorry, you can't borrow my sweater or my entire streaming library. While it may seem like a modern-day policy, this law reflects an effort to protect digital content and prevent losses in revenue for streaming companies. The enforcement of laws like Tennessee's Netflix password ban can have unintended consequences, creating legal hurdles and hindering the growth of the digital economy. Instead of spending resources on cracking down on password sharing, policymakers could focus on more innovative solutions to protect intellectual property and reduce unnecessary regulatory costs, which slow down business development and innovation across industries. Number 3. No stealing crawfish. In Louisiana, stealing crawfish isn't just a seafood snafu. It's a felony. Yep, if you pilfer more than $500 worth of these delicious little crustaceans, you could end up trading your bib for a prison jumpsuit. They're not kidding when they say, claw and order must be maintained. This law was cooked up in response to a wave of shellfish heists. Yes, actual crawfish crime rings. And authorities weren't about to let the bayou turn into the Wild West of seafood. Considering how much Louisianans love their crawfish boils, messing with someone's mud bugs is practically sacrilegious. Imagine it, a hardened criminal in court. Your Honor, I was framed. I only took $480 worth of crawfish. Cue the courtroom gasps and butter-soaked exhibits. Sure, this might sound like an episode of CSI, Cajun Shellfish Investigators, but it's a real law with real consequences. So if you're headed to a boil, bring your own bag and don't get greedy. In Louisiana, when it comes to crawfish, you do the crime, you do the time, and maybe the cocktail sauce too. Number 2, no duck quacks after 10 p.m. Georgia's quackdown. In the beautiful town of Quitman, Georgia, it's actually illegal for ducks to quack after 10 p.m. That's right. If your feathered friend is making too much noise past bedtime, you might be on the hook for disturbing the peace. Apparently, the city council once decided that nighttime tranquility was more important than poultry freedom of expression. Now, Enforcing this law raises a few questions. Do officers carry tiny duck-sized citations? Is there a curfew bell for beaks? And what happens if a rogue mallard just can't help himself after dark? While no duck has done hard time yet, this law highlights the lengths small towns will go to in the name of peace and quiet. Whether it's noise complaints or someone just had a personal vendetta against quacking, one thing for sure, Quitman takes bedtime seriously. So if you're planning a duck-themed after-party in Georgia, maybe keep it indoors. Number 1. Meter madness. Elephants aren't exempt. In Florida, if you tie your elephant to a parking meter, you're legally required to pay the meter just like you would for a Toyota Corolla. No exceptions for tusks or trunk size. This law, believe it or not, dates back to the days when circuses traveled across the state and elephants were the original SUVs. Sturdy, slow, and capable of carrying everything in the kitchen sink. Towns, tired of elephants loitering on public streets for free, decided it was time these big boys paid their fair share. While it might sound like the setup for a dad joke, why did the elephant get a parking ticket? It's a real regulation that proves Florida doesn't mess around with municipal income. Forget your meter money. And Dumbo might end up with a boot on his foot. Today, you're more likely to see this law cited in trivia games and enforced in downtown Miami. But just in case you were planning to roll through Tampa with an elephant in tow, bring quarters, or risk getting towed by animal control with a very long flatbed truck. Pro tip: parallel parking a pachyderm? Not worth the stress. These quirky laws highlight the complexities and outdated nature of legal systems, reminding us of the importance of revisiting and modernizing statutes. The U.S. spends over $2 trillion annually on regulatory compliance, much of which goes toward enforcing archaic laws that no longer serve a purpose. If you enjoyed this countdown, be sure to subscribe for more intriguing content. Comment below with the weirdest law you've encountered, and share this video to spread the laughter and knowledge. Stay curious, and see you in the next video.